Hi everyone, and welcome on into my YouTube channel. I am Jazzy, or also known as Jazzy Dance on Twitch, and today we are going to be talking about none other than the Animal Crossing 2.0 update. So, Nintendo decides to surprise all of us and release the 2.0 free update a whole 24 hours earlier than we were expecting it to. I was freaking out. On one hand, I was super excited to get the update early, and part of the free update, there's so much amazing content already that if they were to release it at the same time as Happy Home Paradise DLC, I probably would have been a bit overwhelmed. However, on the other hand, I was completely stressed out. If you don't know, I am a Treasure Islander, and I do have my own Treasure Island that I host every stream for free and for everyone. And when I found out that the update came a whole day earlier than I was expecting it to, I was losing my mind, I was a little nauseous, and it was crazy, especially when we found out that there was more than 1,700 new items, 9,000 with all the different color variations. But nonetheless, the 2.0 update is out now, and it's fantastic and everything I dreamed about. I was really happy to stream it on the night it came out and show my first reactions and the first playthrough. I guess we kind of did a speed run because I wanted to unlock everything and learn everything, and we learned a whole ton, and I want to share that in this video with you. Let's jump right in. The first thing that happens when your game is updated is that Isabelle has an announcement about ordinances. If you're the resident representative, head on over to Res Services and talk to Isabelle, and she will let you enact an ordinance on your island. I chose the Beautiful Island Ordinance because, truthfully, this was always the ordinance I had on my New Leaf town, but I kind of have regrets because even though it's great not to have cockroaches in my house from time traveling, there are flowers growing everywhere on my island, and it's kind of a mess right now. The other three ordinances are the Bell Boom, which means prices of everything goes up a bit, but also if you're selling stuff, you get more money. The Early Bird, which means your villagers are awake and active earlier in the day and the stores open an hour earlier. And the Night Owl Ordinance, which is the opposite. Your villagers are more active at night and the stores are open an hour later. After speaking with Isabelle, head on over to Tom Nook and he'll let you know about all the new housing upgrades. The first one is that you can now expand your storage. If your house was fully upgraded before and you've expanded your storage to the max of 2,600 prior to the update, well, now you can expand your storage even more for the small price of 700,000 bells. You can also change up your house exterior with these 4 different building options and all these different colors that you can choose. After that, head on over to the ABD and check out the new storage sheds. There are 2. The first is the storage shed that we saw in the trailer, which you can redeem your Nook miles for, and the second is the wooden storage shed DIY, which you can craft and customize the color of on your own. These storage sheds will only appear if you had previously upgraded your storage to 2,600 before the update. Also, you can get the ABD ATM, which unfortunately will only appear if you've paid off all of your house debt. Also in the ABD, you'll notice the new DIYs, which includes new hairstyles, the Pro Construction license, which gives you 2 more inclines and 2 more bridges, the Pro Decorating license, which gives you the ability to do accent walls and have ceiling lights, the Pro Camera, which I had a lot of fun figuring out, the new fencing customization that gets you to customize the colors of your fences, also new fencing DIYs will continue to appear in your ABD, and finally, the cooking recipe. There's also another cooking recipe DIY that you can get from Nook's Cranny. Both of these will give you new cooking recipes and also a DIY recipe for a stonework kitchen. Also in the Nook's Cranny is the permanent ladder, which you can buy the DIY recipe of and craft and customize the color of on your own. Going back to the ABD, you'll also see a ton of new furniture items. There's so many, and I love them all. There's the plaza furniture, which unfortunately we've concluded you cannot place in the plaza, but there's also all these other new furnitures. My personal favorite are these hanging lights and also the curved street light. Of course, these items only appear in your one island default color, but don't fret because once you unlock Reese and Cyrus on Harv's island, you can ask them to change the colors of these furnitures, and it will only cost you a few bells. Much better than finding someone and trading with them to get the color that you want. In Isabel's first announcement, she'll also let you know that Kapp'n has arrived and he is now giving Mystery Island boat tours. Kapp'n will hang out at the dock and he'll bring you to a Mystery Island for 1,000 Nook miles. But be warned, you can only go to one Mystery Island tour per day. So before you check out Kapp'n's Islands, make sure you see Blathers at the museum first. Once you arrive at the museum, Blathers should have a thought bubble over his head, which indicates that he wants to talk to you about Brewster. If Blathers does not have a thought bubble over his head, that just means you haven't met the requirements needed to unlock Brewster. This includes upgrading your museum from a tent to a building, also donating a minimum of 50 items to the museum, and also donating at least one item in each area: bug, fish, art, and fossil. Blathers will then tell you about this great idea he has to expand the museum to include a cafe, but he tried contacting his old friend Brewster and he can't find him. He's MIA and he needs you to go look for him. He'll then tell you to go on Kapp'n's tours because apparently this Brewster loves to hunt for gyroids. So now you can go over to the dock and hop onto your first Mystery Island tour with Kapp'n. If you did all this right, he should bring you to an island and Brewster is there with an impeccable outfit. And you just talk with him and then he'll agree to open a cafe at Blathers Museum. He'll then give you your first gyroid fragment. After that, head on over back to your island, go to the museum to confirm with Blathers that yes, Brewster is going to be opening a cafe here. The next day, the museum will be closed for construction, and then the day after that, Brewster will open the Roost. The Roost, like I mentioned in my first video, is a tad underwhelming. Like I said, you sit down, have some dialogue, press a few buttons, and drink some coffee. And that's pretty much it. However, if you do go to see Brewster every day and continue to drink coffee and chat with him, he'll warm up to you a bit and start giving you rewards, which is little coffee-themed furniture items and also, I believe, even one DIY recipe. After the third day of seeing Brewster, he'll also allow you to start purchasing takeout coffee on the other side of the counter. I also tried inviting an NPC to the Roost to see how that was, and you know, it's pretty much the same. I invited Chai because coffee shop, coffee on her head, and we just kind of sat there for a bit. And that was pretty much it. I definitely think the best part of the Roost is inviting friends over to your island and going on over to get a coffee together because we see a lot more different interaction with that than we would when we were going independently. Now, going back to Kapp'n and his Mystery Island boat tours, he'll bring you to and from these islands and grace you with his beautiful singing. While he's singing, you can press the A, X, and Y buttons to do different emotes, and if you're in a rush and don't want to hear him sing, you can spam the B button a few times and it'll just interrupt him and bring you to the island right away. I was really happy to see that the second island I went to with Kapp'n was indeed the island we saw in the trailer, and there I was able to collect all the vine ladders and also the glowing moss and pick up a few of the new bushes. Other islands that Kapp'n could bring you to are islands that have the new crops, which is super easy to dig up and bring back to your own island. And also, I've heard that there's even an island where you can hit the rocks and star fragments will come out. Also, make sure you check the DIYs on Kapp'n's Islands for new DIY recipes. As I mentioned earlier, Brewster will give you a gyroid fragment when you first meet him, but also every time you go to Kapp'n's Island, you can dig up a gyroid fragment, bring it back to your island, bury it, water it. The next day, a gyroid will appear. Other things that came with this update are group exercising, which you can do in the plaza, and also there was a quality of life update where Isabel now announces when NPCs are visiting on your island. Possibly the best feature to be added in the update is Harv's Island and the expansion to include an NPC trailer camp. Harv will send you a letter in the mail saying that he has a great idea and he wants you to come visit. If you do not receive this letter in the mail, it means that you have not fulfilled the requirements needed to expand Harv's Island, which includes unlocking Photopia and also going inside his house and taking a picture from your Nook phone camera. After that, it should work. When you arrive to Harv's Island, you'll see that he's talking to Harriet and has an idea to create a spot for NPCs to open their shops. There are 7 total NPC plots that you can unlock, and each plot costs 100,000 bells. As well, you can only unlock 1 plot per day. After the first NPC arrives to Harv's Island, that's when Harriet will open up her little salon chair. Harriet will give you 1 random haircut per day, and after she gives you that hairstyle, you are able to enable it whenever by looking in a mirror. She gives some pretty interesting haircuts that particularly I didn't enjoy, but what can you do? I also recommend unlocking the NPCs in this order. First, Leaf, because Leaf will have the crops that we are looking for in order to begin farming and cooking DIY recipes. Then Reese and Cyrus, because as I mentioned earlier, Reese and Cyrus will be able to customize pretty much all the furniture, including the Nook furniture items in the color variations that you want. And also, what I really like about Reese and Cyrus is that if you have a furniture item in one color, but then you customize it to another color, it will show up in your catalog and then you can purchase it again in the future. Then I recommend unlocking Red, because Red has a new thing called Red's Raffle, where every time you enter the raffle for 500 bells, he will give you a small prize in the form of a handheld food item. After that, I don't really have a particular order for the remaining 4 NPCs. Sahara will be bringing new flooring, wallpaper, and rugs to the game, and Kix will be bringing new accessories and shoes to the game, much like how Abel's sisters will be holding new clothing. Tortimer will give you storage access in his shop, and Katrina will tell you fortunes for 1,000 bells. Well, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the 2.0 free update, in addition to the 16 new villagers and the thousands of new items, furniture, clothing, food, fences, gyroids, everything that's coming to the game. Please let me know in the comments below what's your favorite part of the 2.0 update, and stay tuned for an upcoming video of my playthrough of the Happy Home Paradise DLC. If you guys want to come on over to my treasure island and pick up a few of the update items, please come on over to my Twitch streams at twitch.tv/jazzydance, where I do some super cozy Animal Crossing streams and always have my treasure island running in the background. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye!